Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Dina Robert, and this is day 5 of the 5-day Mind Fitness Challenge for entrepreneurs. So, welcome everybody who's joining us live. As always, we are streaming today on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on LinkedIn. So, wherever you are joining us from, hello and welcome. Hello, Nada. Good morning. Hello, everyone. I will be looking at the chat as well as at the comments inside social media. If you're not joining me on Zoom, you can always ask me questions and I'll be answering them as we move on. So as always, there will be replays if you're not able to join me until the end of the session, or if you are already watching the replays, this is it. If you registered using your email, you will be receiving an email at the end of the session with the replay link on YouTube and inside the Facebook group. And the lives will always be available after the session is finished as well. So welcome again, everyone. Let me share my screen and let us begin. So as usual, I will begin by doing a little recap of what we did yesterday. So yesterday was day 4 of the 5-day Mind Fitness Challenge for entrepreneurs. And in day 4, we were still talking about the mental faculties. As a reminder, or if you're joining us for the first time, we are talking about the mind faculties and how these faculties are very important for your business, and how these faculties are also like mental muscles that you can strengthen and sharpen and use as powerful tools for your business to achieve better results and to take quantum leaps as well. So yesterday we talked exactly about that. We talked about the 4th or the 5th mental faculty, that is your memory and your reason. So we talked about how your logic can be controlled by your paradigm and how to pay attention to that and make sure you're not letting your paradigm control your logic and control whatever limit that you have on your results or on your actions, especially that your actions are always going to trigger your results and to cause whatever kind of life and consequence and results and income and business that you're into, the kind of career that you're into. All your life results are results of your actions and your environment if you're letting your environment control your thoughts and your feelings. So we saw how the paradigm is controlling your logic, and we identified the paradigm as the part of you that is subconscious, you're not aware of it, but also the part of you where your self-image, your beliefs, your limited beliefs especially, and your habits and your behavior, your attitude, everything that I just mentioned is stored into a part of your consciousness that is subconscious, that is you're not aware of, and yet it's controlling the majority of your actions, and as a result of your results and your income and many other things in life. We talked also about how to take quantum leaps on a daily basis, how to do things differently. And I mentioned the fact that the difference between successful people and the rest of the world is that successful people always do things in a certain way. They don't succeed by doing certain things. They succeed by doing things in a certain way. And I explained exactly how to do things in a certain way. It's simply by not letting your logic being controlled by your paradigm and to think outside the box, to let yourself think and take action differently. If your results are not satisfying, if you're seeing something that you're not satisfied with your life, just do things differently. Just be sure of understanding what's happening, be aware of it, and then don't let your logic be controlled by your paradigm. Start making things differently, and this is how we do quantum leaps. This is how we take quantum leaps, because we don't want to go in life step by step and just climb the ladder slowly but surely, as we say. We don't want to do that. We want to skip from step 1 to step 10 just by doing one thing differently. And that one thing is usually the thing that will make you feel uncomfortable, the thing that you're not comfortable doing on a daily basis. So then as the second part, we mentioned the 5th mental faculties, that is your memory. And I explained how your memory is also affected by your paradigm. So how can this be translated in your reality? Um, you would think that you're forgetting things on a daily basis and you don't know why. But it's actually your paradigm that's making you forget the things that it does not want you to do. So what I mentioned, that when I heard the saying that you only forget what you want to forget, at first I thought that this is not fair. I didn't want to forget that. But eventually I understood that I did not want to forget that on a conscious level, but my subconscious, my paradigm did not agree on me remembering and stepping into action and moving forward toward that thing. So it made me forget it. And this is how your memory is also mental faculties that is so powerful, but yet controlled by your paradigm. So make sure you're aware of what your paradigm status is at the time, and make sure you're taking the right kind of actions to move out of this comfort zone, because nothing grows in your comfort zone. And then we finished by mentioning a few ways to strengthen your memory. So you will find this in your workbook that I sent you by email yesterday. You will find it also inside the Facebook group. If you're watching me on Facebook, I put it in the guide section of the Facebook group. So you'll find it there as well to download, print, and start working with your workbooks. And yeah, that was the recap for day 4. So if you have any questions for day 4, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll be having a look at the chat, at the comments at the same time as we speak. So today we're talking about yet another mental faculties that is so powerful, maybe the most powerful of the 6. And as a reminder, maybe this is the first time you're joining me today. We have 6 mental powerful faculties that are your mental muscles, and that every one of us possesses. You did not earn, you did not learn, but you just were born with them. And as your body, as your physical muscles, they can be trained, they can be sharpened, they can be strengthened. So these 6 mental faculties are your perception, your intuition, your will, that is your ability to focus and to stay concentrated, your reason, your memory, and today we're talking about the 6th mental faculty. And before we start with that, I want to bring more awareness about the fact that you can transform thoughts into things. This is a concept that I've fallen in love with a few years ago when I understood how powerful my mind was, and I got actually proof of that, that I can transform my thoughts into things just by taking action and just by building these thoughts into ideas. And then the ideas will become something that I want to do, will become a fantasy, a desire, a want that I'm aware of and that I'm involved in. And once I become involved in, when you fall in love with the idea, when you fall in love with the thought, you will move your body into action. So you will start doing things to move you forward toward that thing that you wanted, toward that life, toward that invention, toward that business, toward that relationship, toward whatever that you built an image of in your mind. So when I first became aware of this, I thought that this is maybe the biggest gift that we are giving as human beings, that we have this very powerful creative ability to transform your thoughts into reality, into physical reality, into things, into inventions, into ideas, into businesses, into relationships, into any other aspect of life. It all started with thought. So I started looking around me the other day, and I thought that I've been living in this flat for 5 years now. And I remember exactly how I chose every single thing in this flat. I made the decision every time to either make or purchase or build or grab or assemble any single thing that you're looking at in the background. These are all decisions that I made. And this all started with an idea. When I got this flat, it was totally empty. And I started designing whatever kind of furniture I wanted in the flat, whatever kind of decoration, the kind of things that I would want to have around. Um, and I just started asking myself questions. Where do I want it to be? What color? What shape? What do I buy first? And then how do I assemble the thing in my room exactly the way I wanted it to be? And then I went and looked for the thing that I wanted. And eventually it all became exactly like the idea I shaped inside my mind first. So this is one of many proofs that your thoughts shape your reality. It did not happen by accident. I didn't just woke up and it just happened and I found myself inside this flat. I just got it empty and I decided to move forward and to start shaping this design, these things that I wanted and I saw in my mind first. And then I started taking action and started making little decisions here and there, making choices. And eventually it all transformed into my reality that I've been living in, that is now my physical reality. You can look even more around you and look at anything that is around you. Your laptop, this chair that you're sitting on, the internet that you're using to communicate today, this watch that I'm wearing that's showing me the time, the kind of clothes that you're wearing, the kind of jewelry that you're wearing, your shoelaces, this microphone that I'm speaking on. These are amazing things, and they never happen by accident. We did not find them in nature. I'm not talking about things that are created in nature and that we're finding them already there. I'm talking about the things that started inside someone's mind. This microphone started inside someone's mind. They had this idea, they started designing it, they started building it, they assembled the material, and it became a reality. And now I'm using it to speak to you guys. I think this is absolutely amazing. And we have so many proofs around us that we are able to shape our own reality and we are able to design whatever we want our lives to look like. And you know what? You have the ability to do this in your life with exactly how you're picturing your life to be. You have the power to create that. You only need a picture. You only need the idea, but the idea has to be specific. So the person who invented the watch or the microphone did not just have just a vague idea of what it could look like and then just did not nothing and expected it to manifest in their reality. No, they have a very specific idea. They had a very specific picture in their mind, and they started building it and they started reasoning it with it. So yesterday we talked about memory and reason, and I emphasized the fact that your reason is your logic, it's your thinking mind, it's your conscious mind assembling and building thoughts into ideas. And this is what we want to do. We want to have a thought, an idea, build it using your reasoning factor, and then manifest it into action, into results, into income, into the kind of life that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you what do I mean by that. So how thoughts become things. I'm going to use the exact image that I've been using the last few days. That is the stick person, and that is, for those who are joining us for the first time today, it's a representation of the mind, because we talked about the fact that the mind is not a thing, so we don't have a picture of the mind. So this is a representation of the mind. Your mind is an activity. It's not a thing, it's movement. Your mind is moving and connected to spirit at all times, in all places. And your body, your physical reality, what you're perceiving through your five senses are just a manifestation, a representation, a physical representation of your mind. So we're using this stick person to represent the mind and to be able to comprehend and to understand better how your mind works, to be able to sharpen this mental faculty that we're talking about today. So the mind can be represented into this stick person. So the first circle will represent the mind conscious for the first half, subconscious for the second half, and the little circle will represent your body. That is your action, your behavior, your attitude, and eventually your actions will transform into your results. So what I want to emphasize today is the fact that you're receiving thoughts at all times. You're dreaming, you're looking at your smartphone, you're talking to people, you're perceiving things when you're walking around, you watch TV, you read a book. There are thoughts and ideas coming to you at all places at all times. So we saw yesterday that we build ideas using our reasoning mind. And then these ideas, if we are emotionally involved with it, yesterday I emphasized the fact that it's absolutely crucial that you become emotionally involved with the idea, that you fall in love with the idea of what you want. It's the only prerequisite that will move your body into action. If you're not attached to the idea that much, if you don't want to do it on a subconscious level, again, if you're consciously aware that, yes, I wanted to do that, but you ended up not doing it, it's probably because your subconscious mind, that is the link between what's happening in your head and what's happening in your body, in your reality, does not agree with that. It's not emotionally involved with that. So we always perceived our reality as being two different kinds of worlds: the spiritual world, the non-think world, and the physical world. That is things, inventions, places, people, whatever we can perceive through our five senses. Whereas the spiritual world is not perceived by our five senses. So I think we have now evolved as human beings to understand that our five senses are far more from precise. We cannot see all colors. We cannot hear our sounds. We cannot see all the frequencies that are circulating and moving around us. We cannot really have that much trust in our five senses because they're so limited and they're just here for us to survive as human beings. But we have much more than that. We have six mental faculties. So through our five senses, we can hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. But we have six mental faculties that are allowing us to build whatever kind of environment that we want to build. So in this screen, you're seeing that the spiritual world will stop at the subconscious level. It's where energy and thoughts and emotions are happening. And then in the physical world is whatever the subconscious is suggesting to your body to do, to manifest. It can manifest into anything, into your attitude, into your daily routine, into your productivity level, and eventually in your income, in your relationship status, in your business results, in your career results, in your overall well-being. These are all physical results that you can perceive through your five senses. So the fact that we think that these two worlds are different, it's an illusion because they all are connected all the time. Because whatever that you're perceiving through your five senses, you're actually pressing into your subconscious mind, and then you're moving forward to produce that kind of reality. So this is the link. You are the link between the spiritual world, whatever ideas that are happening, whatever kind of energy that's circulating around you, and whatever physical reality that you're building. So what I'm trying to say here is that you are responsible for building your own world, your own physical reality. Why do I know that? Because, well, you have proof all over your life history. Let's have a look. You are here today because you made the decision at some point to do something, and then you ended up doing something else, and then you ended up doing something else. And there's a cause and effect relationship to whatever actions that you're doing that made you ending up here today with me. The fact that you have this kind of job, this kind of business, this kind of life results, whatever amount of money that you have in your bank account, was the result of something you did in the past, or was the result of your environment, if you didn't have much choice of doing things. But what I'm trying to say is that you can start here and now and become aware that you can make a choice. You can do whatever that you're able to do today to make something different, to change things. That's, of course, if you're not satisfied with whatever that you have in today. And by satisfied, I don't mean not grateful. You shouldn't be satisfied because you are always able of doing better. Whatever you're doing, you can do better and you can do more. So you shouldn't be satisfied, not because you're not grateful, but because you know you can do more. And because as a disciplined and as an intelligent human being and as a creative human being, you know that you can create, you can do more. So the fact that you're satisfied with what you have right now, that you don't want anything to get any better, doesn't make any sense because you are a creative being. Let's dive deeper into this. So we are the only species in the world on the planet that is completely disoriented in our environment. So what do I mean by that? All the other little creatures are just born into nature or in whatever environment that they are born into, and they completely blend in. They don't need more inventions, more tools, more things or more activities to do that are just not necessary for their survival. So every other creature has only their survival as a necessity, as a priority, where as human beings, we are meant to create our own environment. So we are born completely disoriented in our own environment. Let's see, for example, why did we invent tools? Why did we invent activities? Why did we invent hobbies? Why did we invent fun things to do? It's because our survival is not just it. Okay, it's the first priority, and your brain still remembers that and still goes into survival mode every now and then when you're stressed, for example. But it's not the final objective of the human mind. The human mind is here to create. So this is actually a good thing that we are completely disoriented in our own environment, because we are meant to create our own environment. We are meant to create our own world, and we are meant to invent things, to do things for fun, to create and to be imaginative. And this is actually the sixth mental faculty, that is imagination. So I'm talking today about imagination, and that is probably the most important mental faculty that we have. So let's have a look at this. You are manifesting and imagining things all the time. All the time you are manifesting and using your mental faculty, that is the imagination. But you're probably not using it as you should be using it. So what do I mean by that? People use their imagination usually the wrong way. And when I talked just a few minutes ago about the brain and how it has our survival as priority, this is why we tend to use our imagination to think about, for example, worst case scenarios. What would happen if the worst happened? What do I do? What should I do? What your brain is trying to do here is to train to find solutions so that it will protect you. Because your brain still remembers that you were once in the wild and you were once in danger, and you probably had tigers running after you to chase you and to eat you. And so it still has this wiring, this priority that it needs to protect you. So this is why it tends to push you to thinking of the worst case scenario instead of thinking of the best case scenario. You probably find yourself stressing over meetings, stressing over a difficult conversation that you're about to have, stressing over a decision that is quite risky, and you probably start thinking about, yeah, what if the worst happens? What if I lose all my money? What if that recession is happening? What if I lose my job? What if I couldn't make it? What if I tried to learn this new thing and I would just make a fool of myself and ended up doing nothing? And this is just a way of your brain to protect you. So forgive it for doing that, but your responsibility, what you need to do is first to become aware that this is what's happening in your mind. Whenever you're finding yourself stressing, overthinking the worst, worrying, doubting, imagining conflicts in your head, simulating stressful meetings or stressful conversations, remember this thought that your brain is just trying to protect you. Let it go. Maybe have a little conversation with it. Like the saying that goes, what if I fall? And her mind or her spiritual guide tells her, yes, honey, but what if you fly? This is usually not the first thought that happens inside your mind. It's not, what if you fly? But it's usually, what if you fall? So stay aware of that and pay attention on whatever kind of situation that you're simulating over and over again, but because this is exactly what your imagination is about. Your imagination is transforming whatever thoughts into ideas. And the more you think about the thing, the more you get emotionally involved with it. Remember, we talked about affirmations, we talked about repetition. The more you repeat a situation, a thought in your mind, the more emotionally involved you get with this situation. And I just mentioned that you will only move to action when you get involved with the situation, with the thought, with the person, with the idea. So if you're letting your subconscious become emotionally involved through repetition, through simulating that conflict, that stressful situation over and over again, through thinking of the risk, through thinking of the worst case scenario, you're bringing the worst into your physical mind, because your subconscious will eventually and surely, certainly move your body into action, and you will end up manifesting the exact thing that you don't want. This is very important to understand. So in the first stick person here, we see that this person is faced with a situation, maybe at work, maybe in their business, maybe in their household, and they have thoughts coming through their mind, coming through their five senses. And they start thinking about the worst case scenario. Eventually, through repetition, through conscious awareness, through focus on that idea. So this person is actually using their will, their focus to concentrate on the worst case scenario. They're starting to stress. They're starting to feel fear. They're starting to doubt. They're starting to overthink things. Eventually, with the emotional involvement, they will move their body into action, and they will end up having a reaction from that situation, from that conflict that they so many times trained and simulated in their mind and exercised their mind to process, that they end up facing the exact situation that they were trying to avoid. So this is what happens with the first case. The second case is someone who is focused on an image, on their goal, or on their vision. With the same situation, faced with the same thoughts, faced with the same people, with the same comments, with the same opinions, with the same pictures, they are still focused on their vision, on their goal. They're still focused on whatever that they want. At the end of the day, for example, if I'm having a conflict with someone, at the end of the day, do I need to go even more and deeper um, uh, with that situation, or do I need to get things sorted? So I'm focused about what I want, what kind of end result I'm dreaming of achieving. So I'm focused my consciousness and holding an image of what I want. When you hold an image of what you want in your consciousness, when you're using your will, your concentration faculty to focus on the image, you're impressing that to your subconscious mind. And when you impress an idea to the subconscious mind, you become emotionally involved with it, and eventually it will cause different kind of actions. I will become calmer because I would say, okay, my intention at the end of the day is to resolve this conflict, for example. So I will focus on the picture that everything is fine, everyone is happy, and life is good, for example. And I will start thinking of ways to achieve that resolution of the conflict. If I'm focused on the conflict and I'm simulating, yes, but what if the person says that, and I have to say this way, and I have to be right, and I have to win that argument. At the end of the day, who's the winner? It's whatever idea that I'm feeding, whatever idea I'm focusing on. So this is why we use your imagination to manifest all kinds of things. If you're focusing on the worst, you will manifest the worst, because your imagination, guess what? It's happening at all the times, at all places. You are using your imagination whether you want it or not. So you better become aware of it. You better choose whatever thoughts that you can impress on your mind. The human mind is faced with an average of 75,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. Obviously, we're not focused on all these kind of thoughts all the day because our mind will literally blow up. But whatever thoughts that you're impressing over and over again, you would basically be more aware, more conscious of the kind of thoughts that you're focusing on, that you can't get rid of that idea all day long. You've been thinking about it over and over and over again. What kind of idea is this? Is this a good idea? Is this something that will move you forward towards your goal? Or is it actually the worst case scenario? Okay, it's maybe logical to think of the worst case scenario if you're about to make a decision that will impact many aspects of your life, but think of it in a very neutral way. Don't get involved with it. Think of it as a risk to take. Plan A, plan B. If that didn't happen, I would do this. If that doesn't happen, I would do that. And that's it. Just let it go. Maybe write it down somewhere so that you're prepared, so that your brain is at ease, because again, your brain is here to protect you. It's always on survival mode. It's not on the rest and digest mode. It's always in the fight or flight mode, unless and until you become aware of it and you start to change things. Let me know if this resonates with you, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. So there are an infinite number of futures that are available to you. So what kind of future are you focusing your life, or you're focusing your mind on achieving? You remember a few movies that talk about the butterfly effect and how little changes throughout our lives can make our situation change dramatically over time, and we end up in a whole different situation over time, and over this change and this butterfly effect of action causing another action, causes another action, causes another action, that ended up in a whole different world and a whole different situation. So this is what I'm talking about. There is an infinite number of futures for you here today. So whatever action that you're taking today will step you a bit forward to this direction, or to this direction, or to an infinite number of directions that you can take here today. You probably came from another set of decisions, environments, places, choices that you've made throughout your life, and that are caused by your paradigm, your self-image, your environment. Again, I always emphasize the idea that your environment is very important if you let it be important, if you let it stop you or move you towards a direction, or towards a situation that you're not comfortable with. You have to take responsibility and to decide that actually I have a choice here today of doing whatever I'm capable and able of doing, and that thing should be something I want. If you're making yourself do something that you don't want, you'll end up in a situation where you're faced with another decision, another choice that is the result of something that you chose today, and that is probably worse. And you will end up over and over again trying to uh, do things better, but you end up making even worse choices, or getting in even worse situations. So you don't want that. How do I do this? You have the ability to design your world using your imagination. So today we're talking about the imagination, and I told you that this is maybe the most powerful mental faculty that you have, but you're probably using it the wrong way. You're probably overthinking the worst case scenario. So here I'm trying to train this muscle into moving into the best case scenario, and eventually manifesting it into the best case reality that can happen to me. So the fact that I'm aware that today, whatever choice I'm going to make, it will move me forward to a whole new world, because this choice will result in another choice, in another life, in another place. And from there, different opportunities, and from there, different people, different situations, different new jobs, different career, different skills that I'm about to learn. It's really an infinity of choices that you have, and they all are starting now today. So You have the ability to choose your future starting now, but you cannot really connect the dots moving forward. You can only connect them backward. I didn't say that. Steve Jobs said that. And what he meant by that is that you have to become that person first. You have to know exactly what that person looks like, what their life look like, to be able to connect the dots moving backwards. So today we're deciding what our future is going to look like, because we are aware that we can use your imagination to think of the best case scenario and eventually staying emotionally involved with it, moving to action and manifesting it into your reality. So start asking questions. We're starting here a design workshop of our life. This is pretty amazing. This is very exciting because every day you wake up, you have this workshop. You have this design workshop that you can start working in, and you can start moving and building your future and building your better self, your better life, better results, the life of your dream, your best vacation, your best house, your best life partner, whatever that you're trying to manifest, you can start building it right now, but you have to know exactly what kind of image that you need to build. So start by asking yourself, what do you really want? This is the first question I asked at the beginning of this challenge. We have to be very honest with ourselves because we tend to choose whatever we think we can choose. We tend to tell the universe, I want this, but if it doesn't happen, I would want that. And if it doesn't happen, it's okay. So I would want that. And maybe today I can only do that. So this is what I want. I don't want you to have this mindset. I want you to have the mindset that I know I'm able, I know I'm capable, and I know I'm willing to do whatever it takes to move me forward to that point in life, to that version of myself that has already accomplished whatever I wanted to accomplish. So start by asking the question, and please don't let yourself be limited by what would people say. I know I can't do this. I don't have the skills. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. These are all variables of your life that you can play with and change. And you're able to do this, but you only need to be willing to make whatever kind of decisions, to make choices, to take risks, and to make sacrifices. So the first question that you need to ask yourself to go from that uh, point in life backwards is, what does your life look like? What do you want your life to look like if anything was allowed, possible, and available to you? If you had all the resources that you need, what would your life look like? What would you do on a daily basis? What kind of activities that you want to spend your day doing? I'm guessing not a 9-to-5 job. I'm guessing not toxic relationship. I'm guessing not a negative bank account. I'm guessing much more than that. I'm guessing much better than that. You have to allow yourself to dream, to take the lid out of your marvelous mind and dream. Where do you live? Do you have a favorite place to live? Do you want to move abroad to somewhere? Do you want to live by the ocean? Do you want to live in a big city? What do you do on a daily basis? What does your life look like? Who are you surrounded with? Do you want to live close to your family? Do you want to live close to your friends? Do you want to find the perfect partner in life? What kind of ideas do you have for this best life possible? And how often do you think of that? In comparison of how often do you think about the worst case scenario, about that stressful meeting, about that letter that you don't want to open because it's a huge bill that you have to pay? How often do you think about the best case scenario in comparison of how often do you think about the worst case scenario? I want you to pay attention to that and to become more aware of what kind of thoughts that you're pressing on your mind all day long. So I mentioned before that I was mentored by Bob Proctor, who is considered the #1 coach and mentor about personal development, personal success, and human potential. And Bob Proctor studied Napoleon Hill for more than 60 years. Napoleon Hill, he's the author who wrote the famous book, Think and Grow Rich. And most successful people in the world consider this book to be one of their must-read books if they are not actually studying it every day, like Bob Proctor used to do. He used to study it every day, and I still have the book by my side. I will study it as much as I can because it's really full of golden nuggets and so many life lessons. So basically what Napoleon Hill did, he studied for 20 years, 500 of the most successful people on earth. And he tried to find the formula, like what are these people doing differently that other people are not doing? And he ended up building this marvelous book that is Think and Grow Rich. So Bob studied Napoleon Hill, and I was mentored by Bob. And one of the things that Napoleon Hill said that I absolutely love is that imagination is the workshop of the mind. So remember what I just said. Every day you wake up, you have a design workshop that is ready in your mind, then you can start having fun with and playing with and building your perfect life with. Imagination is the workshop of the mind. Napoleon Hill also said that there are two different types of imagination. There's the creative imagination and there's the synthetic imagination. So what's the difference? Let's have a look here. So in business, for example, if you're using your creative power, if you're using your creative power to build a business and you're still limiting your five senses, here in the picture we see these five antennas sticking out of the person's mind, and these are your five senses. You can hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. And there's like a lid covering whatever creative power, whatever ideas that you're getting from the world. And if you have your five senses as a limit, if you cannot actually see exactly the result, if you cannot actually perceive the result through your five senses, if you don't have proof that this will work, and you're avoiding to do it because you don't have proof or because you're waiting for it to manifest before you believe it, it's not going to happen, because whatever the conscious mind is repeating, whatever idea that you're repeating over and over again, you will get emotionally involved with it, and you will move or not your body into action. So the creative imagination is when you're not actually limiting yourself by whatever is happening around you. It's when you are pulling ideas from what I call the internet of the mind. There is an unlimited amount of ideas, of things, of thoughts that we can perceive, that we can download as if we're downloading them from somewhere, from the internet. And you can build and you can create things. The first person who created the microphone, for example, there wasn't anything in nature that looks like a microphone. He just created that concept using their creative imagination. And then the second person who came up with a smaller microphone used their synthetic imagination. They started with whatever version was available, and they thought, okay, I can do better than that, or I can do something specific using exactly the same concept or the same idea, but make it more, like make it smaller, or make it mobile, or make it available for cheaper, or any kind of features that you may add. So if you will, synthetic imagination is when you're starting from someone existing, something that is happening already, or something that you already have. Let it be something in business. Like, for example, what do you do on a daily basis? How can it be better? I've always been doing the same thing the same way. Am I doing it right, or can I use my synthetic imagination to start with whatever module I learned in business school, or whatever thing that I see my competitors doing, and start doing it better, and start doing it in more convenient way to my business, to my life, to my results? How can I invent something starting from something existent in my own world? This is the synthetic imagination, whereas the creative imagination is when you are using your intuition and your imagination and pulling thoughts and just creating things that are not yet manifesting in physical reality. And this is what happens with the first time inventions of all kinds. The person who invented the television, for example, there was nothing like it before, and the first version was there. And then if you told that person that just maybe less than 100 years after, we would be able to carry his invention on our wrist, in our watch, and I will be able to talk to someone on the other um, continent, just using their invention. But what I'm not telling them is that I'm using my synthetic imagination to start from what they created in the first place to move me forward to my idea. So this is the difference between creative imagination and synthetic imagination. So make sure whenever you're having new thoughts come into your mind, that these thoughts are not actually limited by whatever that you're perceiving through your five senses, because again, your five senses are so limited and so inhibiting somehow. So you want to use your mental powers, you want to use your higher faculties, you want to use your imagination, and you have to remember that you are a creative being and that you are here to create your own environment, as we have been doing throughout all human history. So what to do on a daily basis to exercise this muscle that is the creative power, that is the imagination? Ask yourself, what are you doing today? Make a list of what you're doing, or make a list of what you've been doing in your business, in your life, and your daily routine, and ask yourself, how can I use my imagination today to make things better? The fact that we're asking this question, I know that maybe you're already aware of it. Maybe you'll tell me that, yes, I know that. I can ask myself that, but have you written it down? If you haven't written it down, you're basically allowing your paradigm to distract you. As we told you yesterday, if your paradigm is not comfortable with this new idea, it will do whatever it can to make you forget about it, to make you think it's a bad idea. It will not give you enough reasons of why this is not a good idea, because it's actually is a good idea. So ask yourself, what do you do? What you're not doing, if you should be doing something that you're not, how can you use your imagination to make things better every day? Start your day with asking this question, and then try to sit down and relax and avoid distractions for just a few minutes, just 5 minutes every day, when your mind is still clear, and wait for an answer, and try to get the lid off your brain, your mind, and use your imagination. The more you allow it to come through, the more creative thoughts and creative ideas you will get. Imagine having a queue of ideas that is just waiting to be manifested. Your perfect life, your perfect future is there in the background of your mind, just waiting for you to let it express itself. So it's true that I said that we are using your imagination at all places, at all times. But how to make sure that I can avoid using my imagination the wrong way? So if I'm at risk of using my imagination to overthink, to stress myself, to simulate conflicts, and to worry and doubt of whatever kind of decision I'm about to make, how do I make sure I'm in the best state possible to only imagine what is best for me and only manifest what is best for me? Because again, if you're using the imagination right, if you're emotionally involved with whatever you're thinking about, you will move your body and your results forward towards that. So if you're using your imagination towards thinking of a stressful situation, overthinking that worst case scenario that you're afraid it will happen, and if you're emotionally involved with it, you will manifest it. So how do I make sure I'm not doing this? How do I make sure that every time I'm imagining things, I'm not using my imagination the wrong way? And how do I avoid stepping into that worst case scenario situation? That's actually your brain's favorite scenario, because it's there to fulfill its job of protecting you. So again, you don't want to do that. You first become aware of that. And second, that is the most important thing to do, is to tune into the frequency of what you want. Now, what do I mean by that? Every thought, every idea has a frequency. We have established that everything is energy, many years ago with Einstein, with E equals mc squared. That literally means that everything is energy. And I love how I can use science to explain how the mind works, because it is a science. Everything should make sense, right? So if it makes sense to Einstein to first say that everything is energy through E equals mc squared, and second, Einstein also said that imagination is more powerful than knowledge. Why did he say that? Because knowledge is forever progressing. Knowledge is at this time, no human knowledge is limited, and we know that tomorrow we will know more. So what's the only thing that is unlimited throughout time and throughout human history? It was always imagination, and it was always the imagination that triggered all the inventions, all choices that human beings have made throughout their lives, throughout human history. So this is why Einstein said that imagination is more powerful than knowledge. So how do we tune into the frequency of what we want? Your idea has a frequency, has a vibration to it. You want to be in a good vibration when you start thinking, when you start your day. So how do we do that? We put ourselves in a good mood. We put ourselves in a good vibration, and we put ourselves spiritually and mentally in a good place. My favorite practice, my favorite exercise that most successful people do on a daily basis is gratitude. I would practice gratitude every day, no matter what. I would start my day by listing 10 things I'm grateful for. If I have the time, I would write them down, because writing again causes thinking and causes me to get more emotionally involved with whatever I'm writing about. And if I don't have the time, I would just sit in silence and think of 10 things I'm grateful for. And guess what? These 10 things can or cannot be already manifested in your physical reality. So if I stated, for example, 5 things that I already have, I would um, save the 5 remaining things that I'm going to list into thinking and being grateful already for what I'm manifesting, what hasn't manifested yet. So I'm already grateful for the next vacation I've not booked yet. I'm already grateful for my dream house. I'm already grateful for whatever money I still don't have in my bank account yet. I'm already grateful for that. So I'm already in a good vibration, and I'm already willing and accepting that idea. And this is how you tune into the frequency of what you want. And you're making sure you're using your imagination for the rest of the day to design the life of your dreams, to design whatever you want to do in life. Let me know if you have any questions. In the meantime, I'll show you workbooks for today. So we have day 5 workbook available for you to download and to start working with. And the first exercise goes like that. Sit back, let your body relax, and list 10 things that you're grateful for. This should be things that you have already manifested in your physical reality, as well as things that you're trying to manifest right now. Second question is to now focus on the thought of your goal. So we started the challenge by asking ourselves, what do we want? So that should be your goal. Now focus on it and ask yourself, what am I doing right now that can be done better? This could be in your business or in any other aspect of your life. And the third exercise to do today is to write a statement in the present tense saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that, affirming you have already achieved your goal. So again, what we're trying to do here is to make sure we are tuning in the frequency of what you want. So affirming that you have already achieving your goal. You have to be grateful already for what you're manifesting or what you haven't manifested yet. Describe that person that you're becoming. What do you look like? Where do you live? What's your life like? And what do you do? And as a bonus exercise to lift you up when you need a boost in energy and boost in good mood, in good vibration. What activities, places, or experiences evoke positive feelings in you? Create a list and use it to shift your energy whenever you find yourself stressing, doubting, feeling limited, or lacking. So in case you need it, list of things that you enjoy doing, activities, places, experiences, images, people, whatever you can think of that would instantly uplift you and avoid having you stressing, doubting, or feeling limited. So whenever you need it, have this list handy. You'll need it. Those were exercises for today. And if you have any questions, please go ahead. Now, if this challenge was beneficial to you, I'm so grateful that you have joined me for the last 5 days. This is the last day of the challenge, and I'm very happy that you were here. And if this challenge was beneficial to you, if what we've been working with and saying is resonating with you, if you want to know more of what do I do with entrepreneurs and executives, I offer a 6-month one-on-one mentoring program. Through this mentoring program that is Thinking into Results, that was designed by Sandy Gallagher and Bob Proctor, whom you're seeing on the screen, you will have full access to this 6-month one-on-one mentoring program, full access to Bob's #1 proven success system, that is the last program that he designed, that is Thinking into Results, that has 12 lessons. You'll have full access to all the live coaching sessions and lessons recordings, also access to all the future workshops I will be doing. And this will come bundled with my own business coaching program that I tailored for entrepreneurs and executives, and through which you will have the business strategy that you need, income streams, ideas, how to optimize your business and to scale your business, how to start your business if you're thinking about starting a business and you don't know exactly what to do, how to change careers if you're thinking about shifting careers, all kinds of business ideas that will move you forward toward accomplishing your business goals through my coaching program that I bundled with the program that is Thinking into Results. You'll also have access to my elite mastermind group. So we meet with the group once a month, and you will get to do business networking with other people, other entrepreneurs, and other executives that are here to support each other and to share income opportunities, share business opportunities, and share all kinds of amazing ideas. You will also have access to numerous learning resources, all kinds of ebooks, recording trainings, and more than that. So this is my offer today, and this is what I'm offering and working with entrepreneurs and executive managers and leaders all over the world, doing and achieving better results and a better life in general. So Thinking into Results, as I told you yesterday, was the reason I changed my whole life and my whole career and shifted my results dramatically through using this step-by-step method. And I decided afterwards that this is actually what I want to do. I want to help other people do the same. And this is what I've been doing so far. And I blended it with my experience in business and in management. So I can help you achieve better results, increase your income, start or scale your business, and basically realize whatever goal that you may have in mind by taking quantum leaps. This is very important, that this is my approach. Quantum leaps are when you do things a certain way and you're able to jump in terms of results, in terms of income, in terms of life, without having to take the step-by-step ladder. I want you to be able to train your mental faculties and to train your results into taking these quantum leaps. And this is a skill that you can learn. Leadership success is a skill, and richness and a better life is a science that you can achieve. Like we have been training our mental faculties, there are so many other things that you can learn and that you can perfect and strengthen and sharpen and use as a tool every day in your business, in your daily life, if you follow this step-by-step method. And Bob Proctor has been around for 60+ years doing what he do best, that is human potential and success. And he's been helping millions of people, including me, shift their mind and dramatically shift their results. So I have a few gifts for you today. First of all, you will receive my 100-day success planner if you registered using your email. If you're watching me on social media, please reach out and I will be happy to send it to you. You will also have my success cheat sheet. I will send it to you by email as well. You will have a complimentary 30 minutes one-on-one Q&A call. If you have any questions about this 5-day mind fitness challenge, you're welcome to book me. I will send you a link to book me and have 30 minutes call where I would be able to answer all your questions. And you will have a huge 50% discount on the Thinking into Results program that I've just mentioned. So the result of the Thinking into Results program is 6,000 euros for 6 months of mentorship, and you will get 50% discount on that for the people who have joined me in the challenge. So use the discount code SUCCESS2024 and check out if you register in the next 7 days. If you have any questions about the program in general, in details, what it includes and how to use your discount code to get your 50% off, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be able to answer all your questions and give you all the detail that you need. That was it for me today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. We still have a few minutes left. I want to thank you a lot for joining me for these 5 days. The last 5 days were really amazing with you guys. I really enjoyed answering all your questions, and I really enjoyed having you around. I hope this 5-day challenge was beneficial to you. I will be doing more and more challenges. I usually do one challenge every month, and it's usually a 5-day challenge. So you're welcome to go back and assist me into the next challenges. You will receive an invitation if you registered to my previous challenges to be invited to the next ones. Thank you all for your kind messages. Thank you, Nada. Thank you, Olfa. Thank you, Mariama. Thank you, Nancy. And thank you all of you who are watching us on social media today. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you guys for the last 5 days. I wish you a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Goodbye, everyone.